Once again, it's Murder and Mayhem Monday. Welcome back. My name is Franklin James, the serial author, and I hope you all have a great St. Patrick's Day and a mayhem less week. Now, today we're examining the tragic and unsolved murder of Rachel Hurley, a 14-year-old girl who was killed in Jupiter, Florida. She was described as sassy and strong willed, but could charm anyone. She was a force to be reckoned with, and she loved singing that song, Sweet Child of Mine. Yet, unfortunately, Rachel Hurley met her fatal end on St. Patrick's Day over 30 years ago, and her case has been cold ever since. Now, if you are familiar with her story, then you know it's heartbreaking. But I'd like to give you all my perspective because there's a lot to unpack, especially regarding the crime scene and the murder itself. But if you aren't familiar with this chilling case, I'll walk you through what happened, highlighting aspects that I found unsettling. Now, on March 17th, 1990, Rachel Hurley and her friends spent the day boating at Jupiter Inlet. And around 2:45 p.m., Rachel was a little nervous about getting back to shore in time because she was supposed to meet her mother at 3 p.m. Once they docked, Rachel and her two friends, Aaron and Maddie, began to walk the path to Carlin Park, where Rachel's mother was waiting. But here's where it gets interesting. Rachel's two friends, Aaron and Maddie, needed to use the restroom, but Rachel did not. So, as it was described, with a flip of her long hair, she sprinted down the pathway without them, and she never made it to the park where her mother was waiting. Now, her mother, Andrea Hurley, was waiting for a while, thinking to herself, am I supposed to pick her up? Is she at a different location? Or perhaps she got a ride home. But after some time, Andrea Hurley did return home to discover that her daughter wasn't there. She then went back to the park to search for her daughter with the help of family and friends. The Palm Beach Sheriff's Office was notified around 5 p.m., and they began their search as well. At 8:15 p.m., Rachel Hurley's partially clothed body was discovered in a wooded area of Carlin Park, just east of the path she was walking. And one of Rachel's close friends believed she went off the path because the wooded area was a shortcut, as well as a way to shield herself from the blowing sand that would have stung her bare legs and arms. Which tells me this wasn't an unusual choice, going through that wooded area, and everyone back then likely did the same thing. But on that particular day, on March 17th, Rachel ran into harm's way trying to get to her mom, which tells me that someone may have been watching her and her friends since they docked, hoping to get one of them alone. Or perhaps Rachel Hurley was targeted. And something tells me this predator has been doing stuff like this for quite some time. Now, once Rachel's body was discovered, it was determined that she was sexually assaulted and the cause of death was asphyxiation due to strangulation. She was also covered in defensive wounds, no doubt fighting for her life. I mean, the crime was very violent and personal. It suggests control, perhaps even rage. It's as if the killer wanted to assert their dominance, right? Because in a lot of cases, when it comes to serial rapists, the gratifying part isn't the intercourse. It's about how they can dominate and control someone else. That's the gratifying part. And I'm sure her perpetrator enjoyed the fact that she put up a fight. The perpetrator may have had a personal or psychological need to control Rachel Hurley. It could suggest prior offenses or even an escalation in behavior. Either way, whoever committed this crime was familiar with the area, and knowing where to take Rachel would suggest that the perp was probably local. Now, the first tip came in from a high school student who was at the park who described a man who was in the wooded area. The police questioned over 50 homeless men who were known to frequent the area, but that search led to nowhere. Now, over the past 30 years, there have been multiple suspects, but none of them have been proven to have committed the crime. The authorities have tested the DNA of 127 men, including past suspects, but none have matched the DNA found on Rachel Hurley. Now, there have been several theories that have emerged over the past years. Some investigators believe that Rachel's attacker was a transient or drifter simply passing through the area, which could be true. I mean, they did test the DNA of 127 men and found no connection. So the perpetrator could have been a serial opportunist who committed the crime and then left. But others believe that it was someone she knew, someone who was waiting for the right opportunity to strike. I mean, from what we know about female attackers, around 80% of offenders, which is a significant percentage, are people the victim knows. So I'm more inclined to believe that she knew her attacker. I mean, whoever took her to that secluded area only wanted to delay discovery and not necessarily hide the body. It's as if her attacker wanted her to be found and not look like she ran away. Now, even though her case is still cold, it's still active and being investigated by Detective William Springer. He came out of retirement in 2013 to work cold cases and is still looking to bring Rachel Hurley's killer to justice. In fact, he said, "We're living, they're living. We've enjoyed things in life she wasn't able to, and it's not fair. They need to go to jail." And personally, I couldn't agree more. I hope her killer's luck runs out soon. But I do want to thank you all for tuning in to my St. Patrick's Day special. And I do ask that you stab that like button and subscribe. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about the Rachel Hurley cold case. Share this video out there, hit that bell for notifications, and if possible, avoid mayhem.